Namaskar. Greetings to our channel Mexican Study Point. Today the topic that we are going to discuss is about functional foods and nutraceuticals and the role of biotechnology into that. So let's start with functional foods. So functional foods are basically food items. Let me take a cursor for you. So functional foods are basically food items that are very much similar in appearance to our conventional food, that what basically we eat in our day-to-day life, which are consumed as a part of normal diet, right? But they have certain physiological benefits and they have the potential to reduce the risk of chronic disease beyond nutritional function also. So the basic difference between functional food and nutraceuticals is in the form that they are being presented. Right? Functional foods are food that are similar in appearance to conventional foods, largely as a result of consumers' growing awareness to the health benefits of the food. Now consumers are very much concerned that how the food is being produced or being cultivated, that what they are going to eat, whether it contains fertilizer that also chemical fertilizer or biological fertilizers, and apart from that new field arises, that is organic farming, right? So consumers are also aware nowadays that how the food is being produced, what type of chemical it contains, how what are things have been done in the case of post harvest technology and all. So the role of biotechnology into that. So if we'll see the biotechnology, so biotechnology is a very old thing. It's not a new thing. However, term is quite new. But if we will see that in the Egyptian civilization, thousands and thousands back also, people were consuming bread, alcoholic beverages, cheese, yogurt, and vinegar. But concept was not known. They were having some other concept. If you will read the Egyptian civilization, they were not knowing the concept of microorganism or biotechnology, but they were using those products. Biotechnology, the concept, basically RDNA technology, came in the early 1970s when the discovery of restriction endonuclease was done. We have discussed this in our previous slides. You can see that in our channel. So as a food production, major revolution has resulted from the use of modern biotechnology in agriculture. Basically RDNA technology and the usage of enzyme, basically cutting and pasting, genetic engineering in a controlled and precise manner. And it started with basically agriculture. So initially in agriculture also, major focus was on high yielding crop varieties, just to increase the yield, right? And aim was, apart from, to make the crop at drought resistance, disease resistance, and insect resistance. The examples are GM crop for insect resistance. GM cotton is famous for that in India, right? Now genetic modification has been advocated as an alternate or complement way, like supplementation, fortification, or dietary diversification as well. Now let's see the role of biotechnology to make the functional foods. If the food is already very good, then what biotechnology can do into that? If a food contains something that is good for our health, but the concentration of the component is in limited way, in a limited quantity in the product. Let's take the example of carrot. It's famous for beta carotene, right? So it can increase the concentration of the product in an overall product. Increase the concentration of a macro or micronutrients. It can replace the particular component if it is not good for the health. If it will have some deleterious effect, right? Or it can eliminate completely, right? It means you can eliminate completely also, or you can replace also. Apart from that, if a particular compound or if a particular product doesn't have a particular compound or component into that and you wish to introduce into that, it is also possible, like antioxidant is very famous nowadays. The entire market of green tea is very famous nowadays, is based upon antioxidant. And apart from this, you can increase the bioavailability and the overall stability of the product as well. Let's take the example of golden rice. I hope you all heard the name golden rice at least. Basically, it was motivated for the need to elevate vitamin A deficiency. That is major concern, health problem worldwide. So what basically they have done? They made a rice that produce beta carotene. Beta carotene is what? It is a precursor of vitamin A inside in the endosperm of the rice, and that is how the rice looks yellowish in color. Okay? And the variety name was Arabica. So this particular beta carotene, how they have done? They have introduced entire beta carotene biosynthetic pathway into the rice endosperm. How they have done? By introducing or by inserting these two genes, PSY and CRT1, and they have used the method agrobacterium mediated gene transfer method, one of the old and very famous and very reliable method for gene transfer method. Apart from this, another varieties were also released, that golden rice 2, and the same thing they have done in the maize also, and they have noticed that carotenoid levels increased. Just see, 23% carotene level could be increased, even more than that. Now, biofortification with phytochemicals. We'll take the example of onion, that is very common in our day-to-day life. We know that consumption of onion and related elements such as garlic and leeks are associated with lowering cholesterol level, and it can reduce cardiovascular disease also, since these products has antibiotic, anti-tumor, antioxidants and anti-thrombotic property also, right? But generally you might have noticed that apart from these many merits, to eat the onion you need to cut the onion. But when you will cut the onion, you will start to cry, okay? Or that basically tears will come in your eyes. How and why? So when you cut the onion, amino acid sulfoxide and an enzyme is being released. So this enzyme is basically catalyze the conversion of sulfoxide into a vapor form, and when these vapors will enter into our eyes, it causes tears. So the discovery of this gene responsible for triggering this tear formation or production into our eyes has led to the production of genetically modified onion, and this onion does not produce tears. In India it is not there because Indian government only approves GM cotton because of certain limitations. So the particular thing is shutting down this particular gene, and this was achieved by the process of RNA interference, right? So this genetically modified onion will not have the gene that is responsible for this sulfoxide conversion into vapor form, and ultimately no more tears. Now, production of some hypoallergic food. Soybean, a very common food items. It offers several health benefits. It's a very rich source of protein, we all know. And it has a potential to reduce the incidence of coronary heart disease and prostate cancer and breast cancer as well. And it has the ability to decrease and increase LDL and HDL cholesterol level respectively. However, some individuals are allergic with the soya. Now, what they will do? So recently researchers, biotechnologists or DNA technology researchers, they have found that this hypoallergic soybean and this soybean protein, that is GLYM BD60K and GLYM BD 30K and 28K are the main seed allergen in soybean individual varieties. So this basically 60K, 30K and 28K. So what they have done? They have introduced a new variety, the usage of transgenic induced gene silencing to prevent the accumulation of this particular P34 in soybean seeds has been achieved, and the resultant seed product do not occur P34 protein. So no more allergy now. Now come to dairy product. As it is, we have seen the product from plant. Now see the product that can be obtained from animals also. We were talking about allergy. You might have noticed this, that nowadays major population cannot drink milk. They cannot digest the milk. They are milk for lactose intolerant population. People are lactose intolerant. So around 70% of the adult, as per the study, are denied the nutritional benefit of the milk because they suffer from lactose intolerance. It is a basically intestinal disorder that arises due to the lack of the enzyme, that is particularly lactase. So the nutritional value of the milk, if coupled with its widespread utilization in the milk formulation, that is basically low lactose milk. It is very common nowadays. It is available in the market also, in Indian market also it is available. So popular method or post-harvest treatment of the milk with lactose hydrolyzing enzyme obtained from microbiological source to produce low lactose milk, and these techniques involve the usage of enzyme. Enzyme could be free enzyme or the trapped enzyme also, that is immobilized enzyme, from various sources to hydrolyze lactose into galactose and glucose. Ultimately, no problem with from the milk. So a lactose free milk can be produced by how? Hydrolysis of the lactose into milk using this particular enzyme, lactase enzyme, that can be derived from yeast, Cuveromyces, right? And then pasteurization can be done, and this procedure make it possible to obtain a powdered skimmed milk also, so that it can be carried from one place to another place and can be stored for a longer duration, and it can be used by children also, right? Now, milk enriched with antimicrobial protein, that is lysozyme. So lysozyme is what? First we'll see. It is a widespread antimicrobial protein that is found in saliva, tears and the milk of all the mammals, right? So it restricts the growth of bacteria that causes intestinal infection like diarrhea. But apart from this benefit, it stimulates the growth of beneficial intestinal bacteria. So enriching the milk of cow and goats with the particular lysozyme is thus expected to be beneficial in protecting, particularly to whom? For infants and children also, like 5 years or 8 years, from diarrhea disease. So according to the Institute of One World Health, it is IOWH, it killed particularly 2 million children worldwide annually. See the number, right? So transgenic goats can be developed, that can be created by a standard pronuclear microinjection method, one of the method to transfer gene in animals, basically in mammals, with a DNA construct, and then that particular goat can produce milk with a beneficial effect, right? So this is all for today. In the next class, we will continue talking about nutraceutical. I hope you like the video. If you have any questions, you may ask in the comment box. And if you like the video, please share with others also, and like our channel and subscribe our channel if you didn't so. Thank you very much. धन्यवाद।